Hi, I'm JustARandom. What was that? A first impression. And they matter. Look at this face. Isn't this a friendly and welcoming face? It's the thing that'll determine whether or not you'll stick around and... Wait. On another note, I love Scooby-Doo. Who wouldn't?
It was a talking dog, you know what I mean?
It's a franchise that means so much to me, and I wholeheartedly love it. Warts and all. I love every cartoon for different reasons. Most of the movies I enjoy, live action and all. So why do I not want to watch Velma? Like, I can say at the very least, I've seen Scoob, and I hate Scoob. We do not talk about Scoob. And it's not just me. Everyone seems to have joined forces to hate on this show when so many mediocre or plain bad shows fly under the radar. Like, does anyone remember Kong, King of the Apes? Only I remember Kong, King of the Apes. But why? What about this show got people so mad more than, say, High Guardian Spice, which mainly got its controversy based on things outside of its influence, with the creator being scummy and Crunchyroll being Crunchyroll, up until it got released and then everyone started bashing it. Look back at the beginning of the video. First impressions matter, and that is why I won't be watching Velma anytime soon. Let me explain and start at the start. This isn't a review of the show. Heck, the entire show isn't even out at the time of writing this script, so it's more of a list of grievances with just the concept of the show and what it did not so good up until it came out. The show could actually be great. I'd love to be wrong and be hit with something on par with the best of the franchise. Or it could be something worse. But I'm all down with giving things a fair shake, but I'm also of the impression that first impressions matter. They're not the only thing that matters, but they are important. Now, everything didn't start off all gloom and doom. When the show was first announced, some people were intrigued at the idea of an adult animated origin story of the Mystery Gang. There have been plenty of stories on how the gang first met, but none have been for mature audiences, and the last time Scooby-Doo did anything adult was that Radish House Scooby Natural crossover, so why not? Right from the get-go, there were some controversies over the fact that the show had been race-swapping most of the main cast, and the show being for adults and changing some of the tropes of Scooby-Doo, most notably cutting Scooby-Doo from the show. Partly because of corporate mandates, and also the staff not really knowing what to do with the dog, saying that he's what made Scooby-Doo a kid show. Something that made people really mad for obvious reasons. People will die for that dog, I swear. Like, I don't mind that it's race-swapping characters, and it's kinda dumb to get mad over race swaps when they don't really hurt anyone. But I also find it kinda suspicious that they made Velma Indian, when her voice actor, who happens to be the executive producer, Mindy Kaling, was also Indian, and the fact that the creator of the show also happened to work with Mindy Kaling multiple times over his career. So this could be seen as a case of nepotism! As well as we would later know, they made Shaggy black. That itself isn't the problem. The problem is that you made Shaggy, the character most memed on for being a stoner, black. You kinda see the stereotype, right? At the other hand, however, Scooby-Doo is full of changers and such that have evolved the characters over time. Like, most of the cast were pretty basic in their first appearance, but nowadays, we have a bunch of different media where we could point to and see how they made the gang memorable. Like most shows, Velma should have the bravado to just be confident in what they have and let the show speak for itself. Ooh. Remember how Spider-Verse released their first teaser, giving us a vague look into what this world was, as well as teasing some of the most important scenes in the movie? Okay, that's not fair. Not everyone can be like Spider-Verse. You remember the first trailer of The Lion King just being the opening and letting the trailer speak for itself? Okay, yeah, that's not fair either. You know how Scoob, despite the controversies with its actors and the concept of a Hanna-Barbera universe, never acknowledged that and just let the audience judge the movie by itself? Despite it being really bad? So yeah, the first actual showcase of animation that got released to the public was essentially mocking the people who were complaining about these things in the first place. Like, these weren't just small jokes either, it essentially was most of the teaser. Creator tip, maybe don't do that. You only just make yourself kinda look pathetic. Like, the only things I could really say that I liked out of it was The settings look nice, the animation looked nice, and to give credit, Mindy Kaling actually does a really nice Velma voice. It fits the character really well, and yeah. But this teaser was just a chihuahua barking at a bigger dog, and everyone just smelled the fear. Like, I wasn't even a hater, and this just made me cringe. But wow, look at that dislike button! This was also the era, can't really call it that since it's been like 3 months ago, so I guess this is the era. But essentially, meta humor was getting really tired because of shows like Rick and Morty and the more recent game High on Life. So yeah, this teaser having a lot of that as a way to welcome itself was like bringing a burnt cake. I would prefer if he didn't bring anything at all. Well, that was just a teaser. Many teasers have a bunch of original content that doesn't make it into the show, so maybe the trailer is
It's gonna get better.
Oof, big oof. Yeah, that trailer wasn't very good either. Like, it's up to a point where it doesn't even feel like Scooby-Doo. The characters are awfully mean-spirited to one another. The reason why everyone loves the Mystery Gang was because they were best friends and you could just watch them do whatever. That's why no matter how outlandish the concept for a story would be, like monsters being real, or going to space, or ghost dinosaurs, if I'm with them, then I could watch these guys buy groceries. They're just that memorable and fun. But here, I just don't get that. Like, there's a point where Velma is just being a jerk, and Daphne says, "We make a good team, don't we?" No, you don't! How do you find each other hot? It's asinine! And so it just begs the question, if it's not fun, why bother? Like, I could just be watching Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? Or What's New, Scooby-Doo? Or A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, or Mystery Incorporated, or the live-action movies, or the direct-to-DVD films, or the countless crossovers, or the memes. Point is, there is a lot that I could look at instead of this. And let's not get into the fact that the first animated adult content solely focused on Scooby-Doo ages down the characters to high schoolers, yet makes sex jokes. Hey, that's a yikes from me! And I think it sucks because the animation overall style is pretty cool, so it feels kinda wasted. In an age where we saw countless cartoons, even a full-on sequel to Scoob being held hostage despite everything being done in the movie, this was the product that didn't get cancelled. It's hard not to get angry when it's at least good, passable even, but no. We get something that almost hates to be a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and by that point, why did you make it? Though of course, I'm not directing this to the artists or other people that worked on the show. The ones who made it are probably very nice people who were just doing it for a job. And I'll give it that. It's a very nice looking show! These people deserve the praise for their effort. But you know people are just gonna talk about the show because it's the popular thing to hate on, and that's just gonna get it views. Also because there's dumb out there who actually believe the show is woke and therefore making it bad instead of just it being bad. It's nepotism, probably. But god, there's so many things to hate with the show, and you're gonna focus on the character being Indian when it has nothing to do with her character, and the quality of the show would not change if she indeed was white? Okay. Even if you need an ethical reason to not see the show, how about the fact that Mindy Kaling is kind of a sketchy person, and apparently supports J.K. Rowling? That's your reason. Go! So yeah, that's my explanation on why I won't be seeing Velma. Maybe one day, but not right now. Maybe when I get to 100k subscriber. Wait, don't quote me on that. This was more of a breakdown on its release, and probably was not organized at all, but if the show is good, let me know. I love to be wrong.